Hi, I'm Kitty and I'm going to show you how to draw and shade a face. So first up, what you'll need is an A4 size piece of paper, a pencil and a rubber. So here is a photo of myself to use as an example. So first up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw an oval. It's kind of almost an egg-shaped oval, I guess. Kind of got the wider bit at the top, coming down into more of a point down there. And I find ovals really good just to start with, just to get that basic shape happening. And let's darken it up slightly, like that. And then halfway across, about halfway on the oval, about there, I'll take a guideline across for the eyes, and then just about a third, I guess, of the way down, take a line across for the bottom of the nose, and then from there we just halve that again for placement for the lips. Like that. And those are our guidelines to start with. And as you can see, my face isn't completely oval, so to add a bit more of a shape to the face, notice that my cheek kind of comes down a bit flatter and then into my jawline along the bottom here. And so my chin is probably a little bit less wide than what we've got here. So just take a line out and up, slightly like that. It's not a slight angle, just like that. And then just using this as that bit there, just down from my eyes, eyeline. It comes down and around to join that jawline. Like that. Then again on that side, just down from the eyeline a bit, and then comes down a lot flatter and starts to curve in. Curve in at the bottom towards the jawline, like that. Just take that up a little bit. Like that. And just come down here a little bit and just round that chin off slightly. And then just look at how my hairline comes in. So it comes in just by the eyeline and then up. Then across the top, down into a bit of a peak there, then again around and down. Then I'm just going to take a guideline down the middle of the face so we can start placing the eyes, nose, etc. So line down like that. Then I look at the distance here and here too, so have a look at that. There, and just put a mark in there. And I'm going to take it about the same on that side. And then just looking at this distance into the middle of the eye, it's probably just a little bit less than twice that. So just come in up there and there, like that, just to start that nose bit. And then for the nose itself, we see that it's kind of coming down on that angle there, like that. And then we've got the nostrils. So just do a little bit of a curved line there for one nostril, and then here for the other nostril, like that. Then we're just looking at where the mouth starts, so just a little bit further out than that nostril set up. So we just take it out there and just place a couple of lines there for the mouth. And then I'll go back and just work on these eyes. So the eye shape, almost I like to call it like a leaf shape in a way. So you take a line up and over. You're going to see my eyelid kind of comes down a little bit too, so it's not completely rounded like that. And then a little bit of a curve in there, and it's kind of almost just a little bit flatter going across this bottom lid than the top. Like that. Then again on the side. Just going to do the same. So that little bit of a curved bit coming in and then into that leaf kind of shape there. Then down, a little bit in, and a flatter curve across the bottom there. Like that. And from where we've marked in our the start shape of our nose, I'm going to go in just a little bit and just take that line up and around as a guide for the eyebrows. That line comes down and around just past the, let's flatten that off a bit, just past the eye. Like that, and then up on this one, the same. Just try and make that angle a little bit less there. Like that. And in doing so, I've almost drawn in my eyebrow already, so we might as well just do it. So to put the eyebrow in, really gently do little strokes like that to give that kind of eyebrow hair kind of look. Just like that. And again on the side. Just kind of little strokes with the pencil. Little lines. Just putting them lots and lots together just to make that eyebrow, which is looking quite well manicured in my picture. And just take it up a little bit more. Like that. I'm just going to go in and input the line for the mouth, so just a slight smile happening there. So put that slightly curved line across. In the lips, just a slightly curved line again, down into that point there. Like that. And then for the lip, the bottom lip, just bring it out like that. Like that. I'm just going to go in and see how my hair is coming out slightly wider there. Just going to take that out. I tried to pull it back to make it so it wasn't in my face, so we could see my face just a little better. I'm just going to take that up and around. Like that, and then back down into there. Like that. And then I'm just going to take my rubber and just rub out these guidelines now that we've got a good base to start with. So, well, to use. To build our drawing on. So just rub out all that extra stuff that we don't need. Like that. And bring that down. The eyes. Just takes a little bit to move, to rub everything out. Let's go back in and just fix up some of those lines there. Yeah. Like that. And then for the ears, let's see how the tops of them kind of come out from just above the eye line there. So take it down. Then we kind of look across and it's just below that nostril. Like that. And the same on this side. My hair's covering part of my ear here. That, and then let's take a little bit of the top of the ear out. As you can see here, it comes down and out again and around like that, and then again on this side, just out, down, around like that. Let me just go back to the eyes, so just going to put in the eyelid. Yeah, so just flatten that off a little bit more across the top there. It comes down like that. And then again on this side. Let's draw it into the in the cross. To the eyelashes. And as you can see, the iris in the pupil, the iris kind of goes up under the eyelid, so we don't have a complete circle there. So kind of like this. Then we've just got that bottom eyelid as well, just coming down, just down there, and then again on this side, and then we just draw that circle for the iris. It's going up under our eyelid. And then for the pupil, just another little circle. And you see there's a little bit of light shining on there, which is really cool because it just gives that little bit of life to the eye. Just colour it in and leave a little bit of white there, like that. And then for the eyelashes, you see there's a few, like you can see a few running along there, so really delicately just draw some lines along there. Then again on the side, and they're coming out from, you can see the little lid there, they're coming out from the one just below, so like that. In the top eyelashes, just kind of starting up here, I can kind of see them coming out Down there, the others maybe facing a different direction, but we'll just go with these ones. Again, just really gentle lines coming down and kind of flattening off to more of a line down there. Like that. And then on this side again. Gentle lines, and then the kind of flattening off down towards this bit here. Then for the nose itself, just do a little bit of a rounded line there, and then up into the opening of the nostril, like that. Almost like a little teardrop shape on the side. Like that. Let's give that a bit of shade. Just colour that in really. Like that, and then let's fix that up there. Let's take it up just a little bit more. Like that. So that's a good place to start for our shading. So we've got our basic face shape and basic details and stuff in there. So now I'm just going to go back in and just start shading up the different parts of the face. So to start with, I quite like doing the bit where the nostril, the nose and the eyes are kind of meeting. So there's quite a bit of shadow in there. So to shade with a kind of a gradient shade, what we do is we go in and just see how that's quite curved there, like that. So we're putting that kind of line in first, but then just really gently start shading with my pencil. And I just do a basic shade first, and then I can go back in and just darken it up just a little bit there. I call this gradient shading because it kind of starts dark and then goes to light, or light to dark, like that. I usually try and keep in one direction, but sometimes I like to throw a different direction in there with my pencil. Like that. And then again on this side, I'm just going to go in there and put a slightly curved line in. And then I'm just going to lightly shade in towards the eye. As you can see it happening here. Like that, and again, just lightly at first, because you can always go back over top, but it's hard to make something lighter. It's easier to make something darker. So like that, and then just a little bit darker there. Like that. As you can see, there's a bit of shadow on my face this way too, so just going to take that light shade up and across just that wee bit of my face. It kind of gives that, starts to give that nose a little bit more of a rounded look. Again, just darkening up that bit. And shading down into here, just with that light. Those light strokes. Just going to see that kind of curve across the top of my nose there, just a really light shade across. Just like that. Down into that nostril, where it's just a bit darker there. And then again on here. Just like that. Then with this nostril, just make it a little bit darker there, coming out from it. And on this side. And you kind of see that shadow line down there where it goes from the nostril into the mouth. Just take a little bit of a thin line down there. Then again on this side. It's around, and I just add a little bit of a gradient shade down there. Just really softly. I see I'm hardly putting any pressure on the pencil really. Just letting it just touch the paper. Like that. And then just got a little bit of shade happening underneath the nose. Like this. And then we've just got this bit here too, so this is coming down to join the lip. Just doing really softly, because I can always darken. So just like that. A little bit of a line across there. And then a little bit more shade. Across there. Like that. Cool. Let's take this out a bit wider. And just darken it up slightly. Like that. And then for the lip, it's kind of darker in just in there. And then I just slowly take a really light shade up. Like that. Again, we just start really softly, and then from down here we can press that a little bit harder. And as we get towards move towards the top of the lip, we just let that pressure off the pencil, like that. And then the same for this way. It's a little bit darker around here too. So again, just press down a little bit harder, and then as you get to the middle point, you just let the pressure off a little bit on your pencil. Like that. And just on my chin. Again, we just do a little bit of a light shade there, just to give it a bit of, see it just happening in here. Just a little bit of texture like that. And then just under my chin, it's a bit darker along the side, so again, just start softly. It kind of ends up around here, so let's take it up a little bit. And dark, just press a little bit harder to get that pressure happening there. And then around the side. A little bit darker down to get that more solid line of shading down there. And then for under the eyes, like I'd love to say that I don't have dark circles under my eyes, but I kind of do. So I'm just gonna just gently, again, just add that bit of shading there. And again under this bit, it's really light. Just gonna give that light bit there so it looks a little bit rounded like that, and then again on this side, just coming down and across, then under that eye, just really gently shading, and then down into this bit. And then for the eyelids, just it gets a bit darker in towards the fold of the eye. So I'm just going to do a really soft shade up. Again, we're just using this gradient shade. We're just doing it softly first and then darkening it towards the fold, and then releasing the pressure of our pencil as we come up towards the eyebrow like that. Again on the side, starting lightly. Just a little bit darker. It's pressing down a little bit harder as I'm getting closer to that fold in the eyelid. Just like that. Just add a light shade, just a little bit around those hairs for the eyebrow, just like that. And even with the eye, like I noticed too, like you just kind of get that, just shade in there, but you kind of get that darker line happening as the shadow of the eyelid falls across the top of the iris. So it just gives that eye that nice kind of gradient as well. And just pressing it slightly harder there, like that. Then just on the whites of the eyes, so just bring a little bit of a curve in there, and in there, and in there, and in there with the eyelids all join in. Just going to put just a really soft band of shading just there, just as that eyelid is crossing the eye, like that. It's really soft and it just gives that eye a bit more depth, like that. And then for the ears, it's got that kind of bit of shading happening just in the inner bit of the ear. So again, just starting lightly and then building up that shadow there, that gradient. Again here, a little bit of shading in there too, down that side of the ear, like that. And then again on the side, light shade, and then press that a little bit harder and ease off the pressure as you kind of come out from the side of the head there. And again here, and down here. And with the hair, so again, just kind of just lightly shade it in. But then just going to make it, just take some kind of lines out there where it's joining the forehead, so it's more hair-like, and just darken it up as it goes back. Again, by just that pressure, pushing down just that little bit harder and releasing as it gets further back, like that. And then again around the top here. So I'm putting this shade down as a base, and then we'll go back in and put some lines over top. It's kind of good doing shading this way as well, because you're kind of moving almost, you're not really moving your wrist, you're kind of moving that top part of your hand, if that makes sense. So my wrist isn't doing much movement at all, and it kind of saves on cramp. So when you're going like that, you know, you're doing a lot of wrist movement in it, and it does yeah, start to hurt after a while if you're having to add, you know, lots of detail and stuff in. And just around here. Again, we have some lines, kind of more liney stuff coming out, liney stuff, liney hair. Here, hairline, that's where I'm going. Going with that. And then again, just darken up and ease off that pressure as you get further out. Like that. So then I'm going to go back in and just add some lines into the hair, so just kind of gives it just a bit more detail. Again, just making them really random. As you can see, it's just kind of building up that that look and texture to the hair. The angle slightly changes as we get closer to the ear, like that, and then down this side. Just like that. And just add a bit more shade to the face. We're kind of in a bit of a darker place right there with the shading. So I mean, that side of the face is slightly darker. So I'm just going to take a little, just really soft shadow. Okay, just try not to press too hard there. I'm just doing really quite long strokes with the pencil as well. Just gives it a bit more texture too. Like that. And then slightly darker. Just pressing slightly harder, just as we get more into the shadow. On this side. Like that. Just have a bit more shadow across here too, just to bring out that cheek. Just like that. It's really soft. It's a bit more dark and a bit darker there. Just pressing that pencil down a little harder. And I've just got the little bit of a spot there. Add that in for a bit of detail. like that. So there you have it, how to draw and shade a face. Hope you enjoyed doing that. See you later.